Hello, everyone. So, so the story that I've got tonight is called The Special Trainers, and it's a story by Mallory Blackman. So there's some special trainers there. I wonder if they're in a shop. Maybe that girl wants to buy them. Let's find out. Betsy peered in through the shoe shop window. There they were, her special trainers, her magic trainers. With those trainers, she wouldn't just run, she'd fly. No one would be able to catch her in those extra special trainers. Betsy, come away from that window. Grandma Liz frowned. Oh, Grandma Liz, look, the trainers I was telling you about, they're still here. Betsy pointed. They're going to stay there too, Grandma Liz said. Come on. But I need a new pair of trainers, said Betsy. Mine are worn to nothing now, meaning that she needs some new ones. They're quite old. I don't know how you can get through the soles of your shoes so fast, Grandma Liz tuttered. You must be eating them. Grandma Liz, just look at these trainers. Look at those colours. Look at their laces. Look at their time. Grandma Liz glanced down at her watch. Come on, Betsy, or we'll miss our bus. But Grandma Liz, Betsy, for the last time, I'm not buying you those trainers. For weeks now, all your mum and I've heard from you is trainers this and trainers that. Grandma Liz, my best friend May has a pair of those trainers, Betsy said, and you should see her when she runs. She doesn't run, she soars and swoops like a bird or a plane. Betsy, you talk some real nonsense sometimes, said Grandma Liz. Come on. So Betsy had to leave the front of the shoe shop. She crossed her fingers tight, tight, tight. I want those trainers somewhere fit. Those trainers, something fierce. She really, really wants them, Betsy muttered to herself. What did you say, Betsy? Asked Grandma Liz. Nothing, Grandma, said Betsy. Said Grandma. And without another word, off they went home. But on their way home, Betsy had an idea. At dinner time, the family sat around the table. Grandma Liz and Betsy and Sharina, Betsy's bigger sister, and Desmond, Betsy's bigger brother, sat there. For dinner there was cuckoo and flying fish and salad and a huge jug of delicious sour soup drink made with milk and plenty of ice. Betsy licked her lips, scrumptious. There's some very different foods there for her dinner. Pass the salt, please, Betsy, says Sharina. Betsy picked up the glass salt shaker. The tops of the trainers I want are just as white as this salt, Betsy said. She pointed to the pepper bottle. And the soles of the trainers I want are blacker than the writing on the pepper bottle. Sharina and Desmond looked at each other. Betsy, I want to hear no more about those trainers. Do you hear? Fran Grandma Liz. Yes, Grandma, Betsy said. Betsy poured herself a glass of sour sop drink, put some split on to the sky blue tablecloth. Oh, excuse me, let me read that again. Yes, Grandma, Betsy said. Betsy poured herself a glass of sour sop drink, but some spilt onto the sky blue tablecloth. The white liquid spread out. Betsy, said Grandma Liz, look at that mess. That stain is just about the size of the trainers I want, Betsy murmured. Grandma Liz could stand it no longer. Elizabeth Ruby Bigelow, all day, all week, all month, you've done nothing but mope and whine about those trainers, frowned Grandma Liz. Your long face is spoiling my day as well as my dinner. Now, not another word. And Betsy knew then she'd better shut up. Whenever Grandma Liz called her by her whole full name, Betsy knew she was treading dangerously closer to trouble. But for the rest of the evening, all Betsy had in her head were the special trainers. She even fell asleep dreaming of soaring and flying, her special trainers on her feet. The next morning, when Betsy went down for breakfast, everyone was unusually quiet. What's the matter? Said Betsy. I've got something for you, Mam smiled. As your old trainers are in such a state, I decided to get you some new ones. You bought the trainers, Betsy couldn't believe it. Now perhaps we can all get some peace, Grandma Liz sniffed. Betsy grinned and grinned, her extra special trainers. She'd got them at last. Mam handed over the bag she was hiding behind her back. Betsy opened the bag and, what's the matter? Asked Sharina. Oh, Betsy couldn't say anything else. Her eyes started stinging and there was a huge choking lump in her throat. Botheration! Those weren't the trainers she wanted. Where where were the ones with the white fronts and the black soles and the red laces? Where were her special trainers? Still in the shop, that's where. These ones were pink and grey and didn't have any black writing on them, like the ones she wanted. Betsy, Grandma Liz warned, your mum had to take time off work to buy those for you. Don't you like them, Betsy, Mum asked. They're lovely, Betsy whispered. Put them on, urged Desmond. Betsy sat down and oh so slowly she put on her new shoes. They look boss, smiled Serena. The best trainers I've ever seen, said Desmond. Grandma Liz didn't say anything. She just watched Betsy. Can I go and show them to my friend, May, please? Betsy asked Mum. Go ahead then, she smiled. But don't stay with her too long. You've still got your morning chores to finish. Betsy ran out of the kitchen. She couldn't wait to get out of the house. She looked down at her feet. These shoes weren't her special trainers. These shoes were just horrible. Betsy ran all the way to May's house, sprinting as if to sprint the trainers right off her feet. At May's house, Betsy knocked and knocked again. May opened the door. Worse still, May opened the door wearing the very same trainers that Betsy wanted so much. Hi, May, Betsy said glumly. Hi, Betsy, said May. I was just going to the beach. Come in. Betsy shrugged. Just for a little while. So off they went. Well, things weren't right. No, they weren't. By the time Betsy and May reached the beach, they were having a full-blown, full-grown argument. Well, my trainers are the best in the world, said May. My trainers are the best in the world, even bigger than you, Betsy fumed. Talk sense. My trainers are the best in the universe, said May. I hate you and your trainers, Betsy shouted. And I hate these ones I'm wearing, and I hate everything. And I hate you and your smelly shoes too, May stormed. Betsy and May stared and glared and scowled and glowered at each other. They were really looking at each other, scowling. They're not happy, they're falling out. And Betsy started to smile, then to laugh, then to hold her stomach. She was laughing so much. What's so funny, May asked, still annoyed. Botheration. Imagine hating a pair of shoes, Betsy laughed. You hate my shoes and I hate your shoes, and both pairs of shoes are probably laughing at us for being so foolish. All this fuss over a pair of trainers. May giggled and agreed. Come on, let's have a run. Things are always better after a run on the beach, said Betsy. I'll race you to that palm tree yonder. Ready, set, go. And off they both sprinted, faster than fast. They leapt over the sand and through the lapping water, kicked up as the spray went up, laughing and laughing, until finally they both collapsed in the shade of the palm tree that Betsy had pointed to. Who won the race? Neither May or Betsy cared. Betsy glanced down at her wet shoes. They were all right. Not the one she wanted, but a present from her mum, just the same. A special present, a wonderful surprise. Look at that, said May, surprised. May pointed to her trainers. The red colour in her laces was running down the white front of her trainers and over the black writing. May's trainers didn't like getting wet, not for one bit. Betsy glanced down at her own trainers, still grey and pink and no running colours anywhere. She jumped up. May, let's walk along the beach for a bit longer, Betsy said. We can collect the shells and paddle. Never mind our trainers. Let's walk along in our bare feet. Yeah, it's much better nice walking in sand anyway, bare feet. And May and Betsy ran over the white sand and through the blue water, the trainers knotted at the laces and dangling around their necks. So they both learned to live with what they had got and probably learned to be a bit grateful there. And the setting there gives me an idea that they didn't live in this country with the palm tree and the beach being so close to them as well. I get a feeling it's a tropical island somewhere. So maybe let's just think about things that we've been grateful for, definitely, that our grown-ups do spend a lot of their hard time, work, money to provide for us, and being grateful and saying thank you. So good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good sleep.